Okay. And welcome everybody to Jaraci Cup 15. Been a long time since I was doing some casting, but we're finally back. This is between Defend Bravo and NoFun in the lower bracket semifinals. Since it was like a month or maybe even 2 months ago that I casted, I guess I ought to just remind you. Phoenixio versus Kao Schmal was the other semifinal, and Phoenixio won that, so he will move on to the finals. And the winner of this game will face Phoenixio in the lower bracket finals. And obviously, here in the South, we've got NoFun playing the Conf. You should know who this guy is, but if not, sometimes he's been like really approaching the top tier. Here he is in the lower bracket, so I feel like he probably won't have too much difficulty against Defend Bravo, who's kind of a newer player. I was playing Joke Patch with him the other day, that was pretty fun. But we'll see what he's able to do here, Defend Bravo, because he might be able to make this spicy. And like I always say, if you're playing someone who you know is better than you, just play like an absolute madman and see what you can do. It always makes things fun for everybody. We do have our info.txt here, which I'll read off for you real quick. Obviously, Coalition versus Conf, no surprise there. We did already see them in the game. But NoFun is going to ban Kartoba, and Frog is going to ban Canyon. I really like the Canyon ban because I think actually it's one of NoFun's more favorite maps, if I remember correctly, although I might just be making that up out of nothing. But you see what he's doing right now? See, this would be extremely effective on Canyon. Alright, he's moving up with the base runner, making blast drones, stuff like that, you know. Canyon is a map that has a lot of line of sight blockers around the base, so if you can get rid of that, you'd be very happy as Defend Bravo. And then he'll pick Kalash Teeth, though, which is interesting. Kind of a similar feel, this map, so... And in fact, NoFun is... Oh dear, he's made another base runner. I was gonna say blast runner. That's basically what it's gonna be. It's just a blast drone factory for all intents and purposes. Anyway, we're gonna have Firebase Krill for game 2 and Boneyard for game 3, picked by NoFun. Very standard picks. And the Defend Bravo is gonna get Torrent and Crater for game 4. I like that. Very, very big map. And NoFun picks the Shallows for game 5. I wonder if he's got some plans to do some shenaniganry on that map, but we'll just have to see if the series gets to that point. And now we see a bit of scuffling going on in the front lines here. Looks like Defend Bravo did make a couple of LAVs. He doesn't have the carry protection upgrade yet, so if we open the resources tab, I bet he'll be float. Oh, actually, he just built an SC, didn't he? Uh-oh, the smoke. He's gonna let the blast drone get right on top of the LAVs, but NoFun kind of doesn't commit there. Looks like he actually feels like he's gonna win the fight, and he doesn't want to use it. That's sort of interesting. It looked to me like he just got that blast drone right where he wanted it, but then he didn't use it in the end. Anyway, Defend Bravo, he made like 5 LAVs, then went to the Sport Cruiser. We've seen people do this before. This is not a terrible build, but having just lost 3 of them, I think he's actually in a pretty bad spot now. But we'll see what he's able to do. For now, NoFun is going to be able to grab this extraction and get that started. He could get this one as well if he wanted. But you can see the base runner wants to set up a turret in the front line here, but he can't really do that because the blast drone will kill it in one hit. Another LAV falls, and now Defend Bravo getting that carry production upgrade. He's making more LAVs. That's what he needs for sure, but it might be too little too late. He's already lost so much here. And another LAV will fall, of course, and the base runner, not going to be long for this roll. Down it goes. So there goes the opportunity for the turret as well. And NoFun actually hasn't done too much with the blast drones yet. I mean, that first one, it looked like he was going to detonate, but he felt like he didn't need it. But as a result, he still got them. He has 2, there's a 3rd building. And obviously, I'm looking at the economy, you know, that's what I'm most worried about. If there's not enough defense, then the blast drones come over, wipe it out, game just ends right there, so... We shall see, but I think that Defend Bravo probably going to be regretting his map pick right now, because this is College Teeth for you. It's very, very small. It's very brutal, right? Good map for Conf to do something like this. Another couple of LAVs fall, and there's just really not much to speak of here for Defend Bravo, but he does have carry production, so if he wants, he can start really pumping out LAVs now, but he's got to fix this rally point. This is putting them into danger right as they spawn. You want to kind of regroup over here, and probably the second base needs to be forfeit for now. You bring the Sport Cruiser over here, keep yourself nice and conglomerated, and then you can try and push back up onto your second base later. Yeah, I mean, these blast drones really scare me, that's the thing. Because even if you can fight the Strikercraft War somewhat okay, NoFun could just stack all of these skins to get the blast drones in and murder you. Oh, and he's making heavy rails too. Oh, this game's gonna be over very soon. Oh, LEVs are too close. If I was NoFun, I'd be jumping on the hill right now. Yeah, he is gonna do it. Sends out one blast drone as well. Oh, he gets an amazing hit right there. Oh no. And the thing is, he doesn't have the 3 to kill the eco in one hit anymore, but he can send these 2 over, damage the salvagers, and then have the skims go and finish them off. Looks like he doesn't even want to. He's just gonna play it like this. Like I said, the support cruiser really probably needs to be back at home right now. This is going to fall. And it feels like with that goes pretty much the last chances of Defend Bravo in this game. Even a couple of assault railguns being built, that's just rude. But, you know, luxurious spot for NoFun. I mean, he can't really do anything wrong at this point. Actually, I guess what he should do is just make another PC, but I mean, it's not super important. He has so much of a strikecraft lead that his opponent will just never be able to match him, so. AAVs being teched here. I guess the idea is that they can smoke for you and fight off the skims a little bit better, but it's gonna be way too late. NoFun wants to keep vision on the carrier though. If you bring this PC forward, PCs have a very good vision range, so you can use that to get vision on the opponent's carrier. And there's only 3 salvagers here. Did I miss something? Like maybe a bunch of them died somehow. Something doesn't add up there. Anyway, carrier just gonna make the drive to Valhalla here. I appreciate it, you know. If you're gonna die, you can at least die with some style. Actually, he's carrier blocking the 2 railguns, so amazingly, this is like keeping him alive for a lot longer than he should otherwise have a right to. Is he gonna get this railgun? Oh no. And that will be the game. Nice shot, Lars. Nice shot. As I chew on some ice. And we will move on to game 2 in this series. So, NoFun leaves it by 1 point. And here we are on Firebase Krill. Yeah, College Teeth, Firebase Krill, Boneyard. I mean, to me that seems like the maps, you know, the standard maps almost, if you will. I guess just because they've been around for a long time and they haven't changed at all. Whereas like Touring Crater, let's say, we have a new layout for. Galzian Territories, we have a new one for. Tight End Passage, we kind of all dislike. Oh, look at this. Okay, NoFun pops the smoke as he retires the base runner. Bravo, my friend, bravo. Actually, it turns out that that's a bad thing to do because your opponent can apparently see the smoke in Fog of War, but... whatever, I don't care. Anytime they do that, I have to call it out. This is the correct way to play. Looks to me, this is going to be a ref mode first build from NoFun. Yeah, and it's immediate. Look how little he's floating. So he's got that build down very, very tight. And for Defend Bravo, he's going to retain the base runner and get LAV fab. This is what he did last game, of course, so perhaps he will do the same thing where he makes 5 LAVs, goes to the SC. But if you're going to play in this style, what you really have to be aware of is that like your opponent is going to get more eco than you if he's going for it anyway, which of course in this case he is. But if your opponent is attacking you, you'll be happy to have these LAVs and keep the base runner. But if he's not, you need to move out across the field and make something happen yourself, because otherwise you're going to be in some economic troubles. And in fact, I really think he's overbuilt on salvagers here. You can see he's got all 6 on the main, and he has 3 on the expansion. So that's quite a lot of salvagers. But... oh gosh, I'm making terrible noises. I'm sorry for everyone who's having to watch this garbage. Let me mute myself and blow my nose. Oh boy. Okay. We are back. We are back with Jaraci Cup 15. NoFun is fleet capped actually. He probably wants to press on this thing. There we go. He's built a couple sand skimmers himself. Now when you're playing ref mode first like this, you have to make sure you don't overbuild on salvagers and instead get a little bit of defense out in case your opponent is rushing you. In fact, I like to do it where I pull one of these guys off the main, one of the RU miners, so I only have to build one over here. Just feels like, I mean, look how many RUs he's got already. You kind of don't need that many, and so you can get away with having some of those RU miners elsewhere. Just over here, getting the CUs, you don't have to build one of these, you can save a bit of money for yourself. But he is going to get a Salt Chip Tech, which costs RUs, so he is spending them now. A little bit of a scuffle here. I think that Defend Bravo would win this with this LAV in a little bit of a better position, but as it is, it's going to be a 1-for-1 now, a local 2-against-1 trade here. Oh no, the hiccups. Well, that is a staple of Bozo casting. Oh gosh. This Base Runner is going to be able to extract, I reckon. But it will die afterwards, I'm sure. Well, actually, it can probably set down a turret and save itself here, but I don't usually like it when people do that. Because the turret is really quite expensive, and if you don't have anything to back it up, it will die eventually. So we'll see what he ends up doing, but like I said, he is going to get the extraction out, and he fires the probe. I do love to see that. Because if the Base Runner is going to die, that probe will be very useful, and you just kind of lose the opportunity to fire it if you don't use it right now. SC is out, by the way. And so if we compare the game state to last game, Defend Bravo, of course, had pretty much died at this point in the last game, but it was because NoFun was attacking him. Like, the trades have actually gone about the same out on the field, where he's lost a lot of these LAVs, and the Base Runner died. And NoFun building a second PC, so in this case he's not, you know, killing his opponent right away, but he is in a very good position. He's got the economic advantage, and it looks like he will kill off this probe with the production cruiser as well. You can see Interceptor Fab coming. If Defend Bravo is looking, he will have seen the Assault Ship module pop up on the carrier here. That's this thing. But of course, he didn't actually see any of the assault ships themselves with that probe, so he would have had to be looking a little closely. But he has railguns out, so that kind of tells me maybe he did. Only problem is, anytime your Galzian opponent goes for assault ships, you gotta be thinking about interceptors, and sure enough, that is what NoFun is teching, so we'll see if he's able to do an inordinate amount of damage with those. Also, this railgun, I'm not really sure where he's going. If he just holds by the support cruiser, the skims can't really kill him, I don't think, so yeah, that is where he's gonna go, and that will be good for him. So I'm blowing my nose again. Get yourselves a microphone with a mute button. It's very helpful. I saw Defend Bravo with quite a big float there. Let's see what he's gonna go for here. This is the second carry production upgrade, but looks like he's just building LAVs for now. Now, LAVs actually can fight interceptors somewhat, but I wouldn't rely on them for anti-air, you know, it seems a little too dangerous. But we'll see here. Railgun Fab is going to finish for NoFun as well, which is interesting. You know, he saw his opponent's railguns here, and so instead of saying, like, look, I've got the interceptors, I have what I need to counter this, he's actually going to get that tech himself. It's kind of interesting. And sure enough, he's already building them, too. I guess he did actually see the AV module out, but, you know. Like, if I were him, what I would be doing is sharking around with the skims, find the opponent's railguns, and kill them with interceptors, because those things are very expensive, and then have assault ships follow up the push. But he's gonna play this very differently here, so we'll see how this works out for him. Actually, this fight, I think the LAV will win? Well, it depends who has high ground. Defend Bravo's gonna jockey for it right now. He's gonna get it. A little bit of mismicro from both sides, but Defend Bravo comes out on top there. But he's got another skim, we'll clear this out. This railgun does have to be very careful, because he knows that there are sand skimmers on the board, and he's revealing himself now, by the way. Yeah, okay, here come the interceptors too. That'll also do it. You know, this railgun is just very isolated. Even if your opponent didn't have air, this thing is going to die to skims. But yeah, the air units are going to come over and clean this up. And NoFun does have his heavy railgun down here. I mean, again, I think he could have done this just only using assault ships, but having the railgun is nice. He's going to be able to sunder those AVs and make his sand skimmers and assault ships very, very effective against this army. Could even just fire one volley at it with the interceptors if he cares to. A little bit of an awkward standstill here as the coalition forces are just right behind that hill. But here come the interceptors to bombard them a little bit. And then I imagine we'll see NoFun try to just overrun the position. I heard something else blowing. Oh, it's just a salvager jetpack, looks like. And yeah, sure enough, here comes the attack. Also, a little thing to note, NoFun actually microed these interceptors very well. He got one of them to fire at the railgun when it was low, so those two who just docked had an extra missile that otherwise they would have wasted. Very small thing, but I like to call it out when I see it. So it's nice to see that NoFun is using the advanced tactics. And if I were him, I guess I'd be looking at another PC here. Because he's got quite a lot of money. Looks like he just wants to be able to spend it. A couple base runners being built here, very interesting. And actually, Defend Bravo has base runner inventory as well. I will say he's on the defensive right now, that's for sure. So it would kind of be nice to be able to build some turrets down. But, you know, I think that just having military units is usually going to be better for you here. Also, anti-air turret getting set down. I do like that, but I think he needs anti-ground here as well. This is a lot of anti-air now. Look, he's made 2 missile batteries, has the AA turret, and he's teching the BCs. And this, I think, is a big blunder because your opponent's attack is going to hit very soon. And once you click on BC tech, you're going to have the first one out in like 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, it takes a long time, so... You know, very, very strong unit, but it's not going to be out in time, I don't think. The missile batteries with the mortar you do have to watch out for. It's NoFun. He's going to dodge the first one pretty handily. The second one used against the assault ships, that's not going to have too much in effect. Actually did more damage than I expected, but still. Like I said, Defend Bravo has a lot of anti-air now. In fact, look, he set down an anti-air turret here as well. But he just doesn't really have anything to answer the ground forces of NoFun here. Railguns are getting hit by the AVs, I like that. But the smoke kind of saved the railgun's life there, so it was a little bit of a misplay. Looks like he will still get the kill? Oh, okay, that was close, but he did get it. Oh, let's not look at that. That makes the game look very depressing. Mortar is going to land on the railguns, but obviously there's no follow-up here, so they will just steal that back eventually. And you can see a support cruiser on the main base falling. This is a lot of railguns for NoFun at this point, and I just don't really know what Defend Bravo even needs to beat this. Like, yeah, he has actually BC tech. I guess you could build one of those. I'm not even sure it would really interface with this enemy army terribly well. Plus, there is still air in the field too, you know, which is often a good answer to BCs. Clearly, it can't be used just right here because there's the AA turret post, but that will probably get cleared out in a moment. See a mass retire from the main base salvagers here. And really, I think that's all she wrote for Defend Bravo. But he's gonna stick in it. He's got the gumption, he's got the stick-to-itiveness. Start powering up the weapons. Go for the kill. I mean, I would really like to see him power up the armor as well here. I mean, it is academic though, of course, right? With those 5 railguns here, a couple of assaults that are contributing very good damage as well. This carrier is gonna die, it's just a matter of time. And one more volley ought to do it. There he goes. And that'll be NoFun taking the series to match point. As we move on to Game 3, which is going to be in the Boneyard. Or as it's called in the game files, 1v1 smaller, for some reason. Anyway. Excuse me. I just noticed, by the way, this is actually the Coalition default colors, isn't it? The yellow with the gray stripe. Oh, I don't often see people rocking that. Looks like this time it will be base runner retire. Not gonna fire that probe either. Now if this was... Oh, hey, look at this. I can't pronounce your username somehow. Anyway, thank you for the sub. Normally, if it was a high-tier player retiring the base runner and not firing the probe out, I'd say, well, he must be going for some kind of very aggressive play here because he doesn't have a probe. And actually, you know, he is getting LAV fab as well, so maybe that is the play here. Hey, Sim! Wow. Oh my gosh, you just gifted 3 subs. Huh. You're a legend, my friend. How do you say your name even? Skythebird. I don't know. Also, look, one of the people who gifted a sub to is Defend Bravo. Now that is strangely fitting. Anyhow, he's got LEV fab already, so I'd expect to see him start building those right away. Skitty Bird. Ah, interesting. Well, thank you. You're a legend. I don't normally expect to actually make money off of this. Anyway, he hasn't started building any... Oh, no. Is that an S... Oh. Oh, no. Okay, I don't like this at all. I'll explain. I've mentioned this many times before, but... In DOK, if you're going to go eco, you have to go eco, right? If you're doing this kind of middle... Oh, thank you. If you're doing this kind of middle-of-the-road build where you get LAV fab and then you build a support cruiser, you actually can't build any LAVs until after this thing is already done. So you just slow down both ideas of getting defense or of getting eco. So this is always the wrong move. It's unfortunate to see him do it here. And he didn't fire the probe out either. NoFun often favors these aggressive plays, and if he had gone for that here, I think the game would already be over. Right, he'd be hitting on this side of the map with like 5 sand skimmers, and this SC would just die right away. That's not good. So, a little bit lucky for Defend Bravo that that's not going to be the call here, but either way, you know, here's the second base for NoFun already set up, so you can see he's behind on his economy, even though he went SC first, because he got that LED fab before that. Totally agree, by the way. DOK is an amazing game. I'm very sad that more people don't know about it, but hopefully Homeworld 3 will fix things, eh? I'm very excited for that to come out. First bullets are going to be fired now. This is going to be AV fab from Defend Bravo. And I heard Railgun Tech finishing for NoFun. Here's the second PC on the queue also. You can see he's just kind of poking around here, trying to see if he can get in. No, he can't, but he'd like to have some scouting info. So this skim here is pulling off the 3 LAVs to this side. If I were him, I would try to poke out on the other direction and like look at his opponent's carrier and see what tech he has. But he's just going to sit idle here in the middle instead. He does have an assault railgun coming out. That'll obviously be very effective against the LAVs. And AV tech is done, which assault rails are typically pretty good at fighting, but in fact, it's going to be railgun production for Defend Bravo, which is interesting. I don't know why he got AV tech in that case. In vanilla, it used to be that you couldn't get carry production without teching AVs, so maybe he thought he needed it, but I don't know. Well, no, because when you get railgun tech, you can get the other production upgrade in vanilla anyway. And here comes that first assault rail on the field. There are 2 AVs. You have to be a little careful fighting AVs with assault rails because they can definitely kill them. But if you're microing it well, you should be able to keep them out of range of the opponent. It's a little easier said than done, but we'll see if he's able to pull it off here. And you are faster than them as well, but not by much. So again, a little harder to do than it looks, but you definitely can beat and should beat AVs with assault rails if you're playing it right. NoFun, by the way, has his PC for the third base, but you can see he's not building all the salvages for it just yet, and I agree, I think he wants to... Well, I guess he could be building them out of the carrier. He does have a bit of a float, but he wants to be focusing on military production from these PCs right now. And Defend Bravo sees the assault rails, he's going to build a railgun, and he's going straight to Architect. Oh my gosh. Well, we really don't see that very much. Oh no, the hiccups. Hopefully that'll go away. But yeah, artillery tech is not something that we see at this time in the game very often. I'm really interested to see if this works for him, but I worry that it won't. I mean, the problem is that he still is facing a lot of threat from these, like, low-tier units. And if you have artillery and your opponent has, like, 10 railguns, you're feeling awesome about it. If he only has, like, assault railguns and sand skimmers, you're like, why did I get this again? So, we'll see what he ends up being able to do with it. Also getting missile battery fab, you can tell he's worried about air, but I would send this probe out and see if I can get vision first. If there's no assault chip tech, there can't be any air, so then you'd be able to know that you don't need that. But here are the railguns, and they're making their presence known already. He kills one assault rail here. And, NoFun, again, probably should have had vision on that. He had a moment where he could get his sand skimmers in to see what the tech was, but he didn't choose to. Still, though, he's actually just making assault rails, so it looks like he doesn't really fear these railguns too much just yet. He believes that he can take them out with this army, rather than shifting to building more heavy railguns. I will say, very big RU float, so I mean, he could go for it if he wanted it, but not gonna be the case here. Probe does get denied as well, by the way, so with it goes the chances of knowing that there's no air coming, and sure enough, we see the missile battery come out for defend Bravo. Yeah, he got base on inventory again, but this guy's on cooldown. Did he set a turret down somewhere, or maybe he got the tech after building this? I don't know. But here's that first RD cruiser, and I'm not really sure if it will change the calculus on the field too much, to be honest with you. Actually, curiously, I think that what Defend Bravo needs is a turret right now. Like, if you just set one down right here, that would be very helpful for him. Could get a really big mortar hit here as well, by the way. Looks like he's not going for it. Also, it could definitely smoke his railguns to try and keep him alive there. But NoFun is gonna back away. I feel like NoFun had just broken the line, like he was about to kill everything. He's gonna choose to back off here. Artillery cruiser barrage is coming down, but it's not hitting too much. I think, probably NoFun saw a unit he wasn't expecting and just sort of panicked and backed away, but I think actually he was about to break the line and just kill everything there. He's got his heavy railgun set up now, though. That's going to allow him to fight the rails, but of course, RD Cruiser is usually pretty good against railguns. But yeah, this is the problem. These skims are hard to stop. Okay, that was a really good mortar hit. And the turret did get set up here. But the railgun is still going to die. Oh, the turret is going to die as well before I can get good shots off. And this artillery cruiser just paper thin against the sandstorm. You can see it right there. Down it goes. And suddenly it just kind of feels like everything is gone here for Defend Bravo. Oh, NoFun's even getting to get an extraction. It's the cherry on top here, if you will. Support cruiser gonna fall as well. And the second base is gonna get wiped here. And that, I think, should really spell the doom for Defend Bravo in this game and in the series, but he's gonna hold on. I gotta say, this guy's got a lot of stick to it. AV's trying to smoke themselves to safety here, but it's gonna be difficult. That is a lot of AVs though. So what you can try to do here is like smoke up your advance until you get right on top of these railguns. Oh, but see here he's used the smoke right before he was about to kill him. It's unfortunate. But yeah, NoFun is being a little lazy with his positioning. You could try to capitalize and kill off as many of these rails as possible. He's gonna get one there. Actually, rail armor 3 is done, and that's what's making this take a lot longer than it looks like it should. He will get a second railgun, so he's getting something done here at least. But again, I think just too little too late. And being on one base against your opponent's 3, you kind of only expect that the army disparity is going to grow. In fact, look how much NoFun is floating here. He's playing this a little lazy, like he already knows he's won, so he's just kind of taking it easy, I suspect. Which actually hurt him there. The missile is doing amazing AoE right now. Still, the skims are through, and I think that all of these salvagers are gonna die. So, here's the drive to Valhalla. Defend Bravo, not a fan of GGing, man. He wants his opponent to kill him. These are actually only assault airplanes up on this one. Is that true? Oh no, there's one heavy among them. You can see though, these railguns a lot faster than the carrier. Doesn't have mobility yet, so... Actually, the railguns can kite the carrier as well, although they're gonna come back in and fight it from close up. I definitely don't agree with this. Well, actually, I guess I do, because he's trying to end the game here. He's not trying to keep his army alive. I take it all back. I take it all back. And there's the last shot. I think actually this sand skimmer went. Yeah, 2300 XP. Somehow this sand skimmer got the kill on the carrier. But that is going to be the last shot of the series. NoFun is going to win it 3-0, a clean sweep against Defend Bravo, and that will bring him to the lower bracket finals where he will face off against Phoenixio. We'll go ahead and cast that right away. But thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.